Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, cameras are reportedly back up on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to film the aftermath of Kyle and Mauricio's divorce as she slams rumors she's dating Morgan Wade. Plus, Melissa and Teresa are back in New Jersey as Kim and Kroy reconcile. And Larsa Pippen responds to Michael Jordan's disapproval of her relationship with his son. Plus, Housewives newcomers Ubah and Erin tease what to expect from this new season of RHONJ.
We all kind of went into it being like, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna be ourselves. And we didn't really think much about it. We just went with it.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly executive producer Mandy DeCamp. And Mandy, we are just a few days away from the new season of RHONJ. We will recap it next week. I'm so excited about it. I've actually gotten a sneak peek and it's really good.
I'm pretty excited about it. They're really pushing it hard. Andy Cohen was on the Today Show today with Jenna Lyons. I watched that. They didn't give much away, but it was just fun to see a housewife on the Today Show. That doesn't happen too often. I'm excited. You know, they keep pushing like the new era, and I wonder if this is going to be like a trend. If this does well for them, if it's going to be Beverly Hills, the new era, OC, the new era, Atlanta, the new era, you know, we'll see. I feel like this could be a whole new world for us.
Yeah, but for those that have been skeptical, being like, oh, you know, this is not my Luann, this is not my Bethany, it's not my Dorinda. It's good. It's refreshing. It's fun. It's like not that, you know, intense drama, but there's some drama about, you know, some regular housewives things that I think you guys are really going to like it. But we're going to hear from two of the stars, Ubah and Erin, a little bit later on. Before we get to that, we have a ton of comments and a ton of news to get to this week. So kicking it off with RC4010 says, if Kyle and Mauricio break up, I think it's a positive and courageous choice at this time in their lives. You have one life. Better to explore it in fresh directions than to live a somewhat stale relationship. The children have grown up. I say go for it. I mean, that's a good way of looking at it too. I mean, their children are grown. And, you know, if they're not happy together anymore, then don't force it.
Really, that's a nice positive twist on a split.
Definitely.
Sal says, I feel like this could be a publicity stunt with the new season coming out. We just saw Kim and Kroy call off their divorce, and Kyle and Mo have said they have only separated and have been pictured together and living together as normal. I have thought about this a lot too. I mean, the Kim and Kroy thing especially, I feel like could totally have been a publicity stunt. They sure fooled me.
Yes, sure fooled me. Like that was not the headline that I was expecting. Kim and Kroy reconcile, really? Yeah. After all of that?
Very interesting. Could it be her method of getting back onto the Housewives after seeing her brief appearance on this week's Atlanta? We'll see.
Maybe. And then Smart Marketing says, hold up. Why announce a separation if you're still living together and no legal doc needs to be filed for separation? There was no need. What's the real story? I feel like because maybe there was a lot of speculation going on about it. Like a lot of, you know, social media accounts were speculating over the status of their relationship. And I guess they wanted to be the ones to come out and say, you know, we've hit a rough patch. We're trying to work through it. I feel like that's maybe the reason why.
Yeah. But like I said, I just don't understand why they felt the need to say they hit a rough patch. Like,
right.
That you're fine. I don't
know. Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah. That is true. All right. Well, the Kyle and Mauricio news train keeps on coming. The upcoming season of Beverly Hills has wrapped, but I think cameras are going to pick back up based on what Andy Cohen had to say. So a caller called into his radio show and asked him what if they were going to pick cameras up, a la Scandival. He kind of tiptoed around it a little bit, but finally he said, I want to say that I think that this will be included next season of Beverly Hills in some way, shape, or form. That's all I'll say. Page Six and TMZ did later say that cameras have gone back up to cover the aftermath of their separation, so we will have to see. Later on, Kyle actually denied stepping out with Morgan Wade. There were some photos that kind of circulated a few days ago of her walking with Morgan, covering her face. But actually, those pictures were taken back in April. So she commented on Page Six's photo, who first ran the story, saying this photo is from April when Morgan was in town performing at my National Alliance on Mental Illness event for Beverly Hills. She's not even in California, and I am not hiding my face. Please stop. You know, that is... maybe look at the date of the photos. I mean, that's not the best way to go about reporting because, you know, clearly those photos are from 3 months ago and not a good look.
No, I'm glad you clarified that because that is ridiculous that they were saying those were from this week or last week, whenever it was. So I'm glad she clarified. All right. Well, Kyle has also confirmed that she's not dating Morgan Wade after the rumors that they were dating, and that's what caused their separation. She told photographers while driving her car on July 7th, we are very good friends. After the reporters asked Richards if a romantic relationship with Wade was just a rumor, She responded, yes. The Bravo star also addressed her matching heart tattoos with Wade, saying she's not the only one I have matching tattoos with. She also noted that she has been coordinating ink with Teddy Mellencamp, who was next to her in the car and flashed her finger tattoo for the camera. She's definitely declined it at this point. So I feel
like we need to, like, if she's saying it, I don't know if Morgan has said it. I know she's commented on some social media posts and things like that. Like, you have to stop. Like, you can't speculate on something like this. Like, you have to leave it alone. Like, it's just, okay, we'll see how things play out and take it from there. But, you know, she and Mauricio, like, seem to be getting along. They seem to be, totally fine. But I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to keep speculating.
It is. I would like to see, I'm interested to see their dynamic if Morgan shoots or films with the housewives this season, which I assume she will be in a few scenes since they hang out so much. So I'm interested to see that dynamic.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, moving on over to Atlanta. And we weren't the only ones that were shocked that Kim and Kroy decided to reconcile. Andy Cohen was as well. He said on his radio show, I was really surprised to hear Kim and Kroy got back together, especially after like a half-hour talk with her a few weeks ago. And it sounded like irreconcilable differences at that time. He didn't really get into their conversation, but as we know, they filed to dismiss their divorce on July 7th. Biermann's attorney told us in a statement that they were reconciling after months of ongoing legal drama. That same day, a source also told Us Weekly that the couple were seemingly getting along at the moment, but their dynamic could change. They said they're getting along, so Kim called it off. Tomorrow may be different, the source added. And by the way things are going, I assume that maybe that could be the case.
Unless it was all just fake.
Unless it was fake. The only thing that I think of is that they're in such financial trouble, is that maybe they realize like this divorce is just going to be too expensive and maybe we should stay together for now, because they're just like, there was, the foreclosure on their home. I think that they just got hit with another legal issues about not paying a loan payment. So it seems like they're just drowning in debt, and maybe they just realized, you know what? This is a little too expensive.
She wants to go back to Target,
She wants to go back to Target, and she probably wants to go back to Housewives after all this.
Oh, for sure.
Totally.
All right, moving on to Jersey. Got to get a little Jersey in there, even though the season's over. So both Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga will be back, apparently, for season 14 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa and her sister-in-law are set to return for the long-running franchise after fan speculation that one or both of them would get the chop following their explosive season 13 feud. The rest of the cast, Dolores, Margaret, Jennifer, Danielle, and Rachel, they're all supposed to be returning. So not a big shakeup like we thought there might be. A lot of fans thought there might be. Earlier this year, of course, Melissa said she had no plans for exiting the show amid rumors that production for season 14 was put on pause due to her husband's drama with Teresa. So interesting. Tell us in the comments. I'm sure you will. What do you think about this? They're both returning. What do you think, Christina?
I don't know how I feel. I mean, I do maybe want to see, okay, what happens after this pause? Not a pause. I mean, the cameras are supposedly picking back up next month, but after like a little bit of a break, if they kind of like settled into their feelings, and maybe they'll hit some strides. But I don't know. I just feel like every time that they reconcile, they just one step forward, 5 steps back. I don't know. I just don't want to see the same thing over and over again. I really don't.
Yeah. I don't want this to be like feeling like I put season 13 on repeat,
Yeah. We'll which I kind of feel like is going to happen, but I don't know. Surprise me. Well, I feel like Louis will be a big storyline next season. So I feel like maybe he'll be kind of like the star of the show. But again, this is a housewife show, not a Louis and Joe Gorga show. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm worried that like it's going to be one of those things where Louis like can't talk about anything because of legal, we don't really get the answers to anything, but
we'll have to wait and see. Yeah. So more Teresa Giudice news. So this was interesting. Her daughter Melania revealed that she lost 40 pounds in just 2 months in middle school after her mom and sisters nudged her to slim down. She was on Teresa's podcast and she said, I weighed so much. My heaviest was like 150. And then when I was done losing weight, I was like 110. I was so skinny after that. I was literally like a stick. I was so skinny because I worked out, but I felt good. She clarified that her mom never pushed her to work out or eat better, but she picked on some subtle hints, saying she would never say anything to me, but she'd be like, oh, you're going to have another ice cream. She said that she would snap back on her mom saying like, I don't care if I'm fat. I'd be like, if I'm fat, I'm fat, whatever. It's my life. I'd be like, Mom, don't say anything to me. If I'm going to have another ice cream, I'm going to have another ice cream. She added, my sisters would always throw jabs at me like, oh, you're going to have another ice cream after dinner. They would always throw little jabs at me, but I was fine, whatever. However, she did say that the decision to lose weight was on her own, not because of these, subtle little jabs that she was experiencing, but 40 pounds in 2 months seems like a lot.
A lot. And also, like, I don't think 150 is that high, although I don't
No, it's not.
110 is like, whoa, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how tall she is, I guess, and all that, but,
right.
She feels good. That's great. I can't imagine being young on these shows and kind of dealing with, the natural weight gain or weight loss that comes with your teen years and your 20s. And then having to do that in front of an audience. I'm sure you watch it back and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's got to be hard. So if she feels good, that's great.
Yeah. As long as she feels good and, wasn't pushed into anything, then totally fine by me.
Moving on to Bethany Frankel, who fired back at Luann after her former Real Housewives of New York City co-star said she preferred to never see her again. Replied on Threads, which also, like, I cannot get into Threads.
I can't. I don't need another social media app. I just can't do it.
That I can't.
Right. I can't.
Anyway, she replied on Threads to a fan asking her thoughts about the comment, saying, feels fairly likely since my life isn't a cabaret. Also, I love when people are as obsessed with me as she is, so I should send her an edible arrangement. Luann told ET that Frankel and Carol Radziwill are the two RHONJ alums she doesn't need to see again. She said, Carol, she trashed our show. Bethany trashed our show. I don't even want to give her airtime.
Oh, I love that all this
man.
drama is still fresh.
I know. I'm Team Luann till the end. I am watching Crappy Lake. Tell us in the comments if you're into it. I'm so into it. Like, Luann is just, and Sonia too, but Luann is possibly my favorite housewife. She's just natural. Like like, I feel like she is the same person on camera as she is off, and we've met her several times. Mm-hmm. And I truly stand by that. I truly think
love her. Yeah. I love her. I love Sonia together. I think it's a great show. Yeah. It's really fun. It's like, I think I said it last week, it's Simple Life meets Schitt's Creek. Yeah. It's great. Sonia hooks up with some locals. They're mudding, they're crawfish or catfishing, whatever they were doing. It's just, it's actually for a really good cause too. They're helping bring tourism back to this town. They're helping rebuild it. It's, they spent 6 weeks there. It wasn't like a week-long trip. They were really there and, living in this motel. It's really good. Yeah,
they had a car with no air conditioning.
Right. Yes.
What we always say is, like, you can tell when they're not friends. I can tell that they really are friends.
Yes, they are.
And that makes a huge difference.
It does. It really is. Like if you're not watching it, watch it. It's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Our last news story of the week. This kind of piggybacks off of last week because I just love this story so much. Larsa Pippen responded to Michael Jordan saying that he is not a fan of her relationship with his son, Marcus Jordan. She said on their Separation Anxiety podcast, I didn't think it was funny. There's nothing funny about it. I was kind of embarrassed. Marcus, for his part, thought that his dad was joking, maybe had a little bit too much tequila. Well, Larsa added that she was assured that there were no problems amongst the Jordans about their relationship. And it all led to her ultimately telling media, including myself, that she and that Michael and the Jordan family was totally okay with everything. But she added, I was like traumatized. I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? People think I lied. Marcus did say that Michael reached out multiple times after he made the comments and insisted that he was okay with the couple. I love this story.
Good. It's so good.
She's like almost like, she's like in her like mid 40s, maybe almost 50. She has to worry about having her boyfriend's dad's approval at this point. Like, this is just, it's bizarre. The whole story is so bizarre to me. Out of all the 7 billion people in the world, whatever it is,
Michael Jordan.
Guy.
Michael Jordan. And I love that he blamed, like, maybe his dad just had too much tequila. Like, now you're spreading other rumors. Now we're thinking about, like, how much tequila does Michael Jordan drink during the day?
Seriously. And how much does it take to get Michael Jordan tipsy? I mean, he's a tall guy, big guy.
Like, I feel like you'd have to have at least 5 shots of tequila.
At least. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. Thanksgiving's going to be awkward, like I always say.
Yeah. I hope they can.
I hope so. All right. Well, circling back to RHONJ, the new season kicks off on July 16th. And we caught up with Erin and Uba from the new cast about stepping into some big shoes. Take a look. What made you want to join the show? And was there any ever hesitation at all?
I was really excited about the prospect of showing New York from a different lens. Just like as a New Yorker, born and raised, as a mother, as a working mother, just showing that side of New York that I feel like hasn't fully been represented. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved old RHONJ. Like, I mean, I was obsessed, like, especially the early seasons. And I was excited to kind of like bring it back.
Did you feel like the later seasons of RHONJ weren't showing exactly what New York really is?
I don't want to like say anything negative because I thought they were amazing, and there were definitely aspects of New York that were shown through them, and they were hilarious. But I feel like with any like cast, right? Like you evolve to a certain point, and then, you know, the evolution kind of can become stagnant.
Do you feel pressure going into this show? Because, you know, like we talked about, people grew up with RHONJ, people have been watching the show for so long, and, you know, now stepping into these shoes, did you feel pressure at all to make this show better than it's ever been? Or obviously it's different.
You know, I think the minute you start to feel pressure really with anything in life, things aren't as authentic, you know, because then you're like trying to make something. So we all kind of went into it being like, we're going to have fun. We're going to be ourselves. And we didn't really think much about it. We just went with it. And I think because of that, it was able to really be the authentic, true, you know, version of our lives that it is, because we just had fun.
Did you as a group feel any pressure to keep fans as entertained as the former cast? And was that ever in your mindset going into this?
You know, I'm very gullible in a lot of things in life I do. Maybe that's why I started my own company. I moved to New York, is because I never look the negative. I have an idea. I'm like, oh my God, it's an opportunity. I'm doing it. So I didn't think at first. I didn't think that it's going to be a new cast. I knew it, but I didn't think the backlash. I didn't think what you know, the people who love the show for so long, what they're gonna say. I didn't have any of that back of my mind, and I think it's great. Maybe that's why I said yes, right? But then I start seeing it like on social media, people are just so upset, which I understand. I really understand, because I go to the same restaurants, I go to the same hairdresser, same everything. When people invest their time in like knowing character and people and role, and then you just throw them something new, it makes sense that any human being will be like, no, we don't want this, we want that, you know? But then again, like a human in me, I'm like, just give us a chance, right? And no, we cannot compare ourselves with them. Neither do we want to, because they're legends. They've been entertaining you guys for the last 15 years. It's not easy to put your life out there. I'm freaking out just like few months that I've done. Imagine them 15 years, right? So I'm hoping we can just entertain you guys and learn and make you guys learn or love us just as much as you love them, right? It's not to pick apple or orange, like, why don't we make a smoothie out of this, right? Yeah, and we really like them a lot. Like Ramona was so sweet. I ran into her a couple of times, few places. Jane took us to lunch. I know Kelly. Ramona, I ran into her at LBK. So they're really, and we were up front all together, right? So they're loving. They really love like powerful women, and just like there's no picking, you know. And we're not the one who like did any of this, which is great. Just even being along the same road as them.
Like I said, excited. It's gonna be good. You guys are really gonna like it. It's fun, and it is entertaining. All right, well, let's get into this week's show. OC, we're, you know, coming off of Montana. We went some whitewater rafting. We did some fly fishing. The balls of the instructor were hanging out. This is like some old school good housewives fun and drama.
Totally agree with you. I feel like I said it a few weeks ago. It makes me nostalgic to watch OC. I feel like they are getting back to the basics a little bit. In terms of like, there's some drama, but there's also some friendship, and I believe some of it, you know? So it's good. It's a good season so far.
I like it a lot. And you know, Heather's high was shoveling shit, and but her low was feeling left out with Tamra and Shannon. I feel like she's kind of reaching for this.
I feel like she's reaching a little bit too, because I feel like I missed something, like I missed a scene or something where there was a fight or something. Right. And I'm just kind of like, I don't get it. There's
No, and it seems like they did include her, and Shannon's like, I'm not here for this BS.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to give this any more thought. But I also feel like Gina is kind of reaching a little bit too when it comes to her drama with Heather. I do feel like Heather was trying to be a good friend to her. I mean, she was there in the car with her, watching her cry, and like she just made a comment being like, maybe Travis might not want to put up with this anymore because all you do is talk about your ex-husband. I don't know. Yes, it was a traumatic experience for her, but I don't know. I do feel like Heather was trying to be there for her.
I 100% agree. I don't think Heather was in the wrong there. I think Gina is trying a little bit hard for a storyline this season, and I don't think she needs to try that hard. I think that there is stuff there. I think that she is a little bit triggered by this, but it's like becoming bigger. It's becoming too big. He said that he wants her to come to him with things like this. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe it either. I don't think that, I would feel great if my significant other was always talking about their ex.
Always, right. It's
always.
Once in a while, sure, but always it seems like
not so much.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this Jen Tamara drama to hit its head next week, because it's going to be good, because it seems like there was another woman involved in all of this Heather woman, what became the new Trace Amigas, and now she's out of the group because she may or may not have hooked up with Ryan. I don't know. I'm so confused by all of this, but I agree with Tamara. This girl needs to run from this guy. He is not good. I mean, he hooked up with somebody on their break. So
run for the hills, girl.
Run for the hills. But like you said, good season so far. Back to the basics. I really like it. So happy Tamara's back. I'm just waiting for Vicky to pop up. I can't wait.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
All right, over to Atlanta. And like we said, Kim Zolciak returned. She had like an OG lunch with a lot of the ladies and talked a lot about Croy and how much she was happy in their marriage. They were going on 11 years of marriage. She credits Sheree from introducing them, and it was just a little awkward.
Yeah. What I found awkward is when they asked about him, she started it with, "We're still married." And I was kind of like, who says that?
Right. Like, you're surprised that you're still together.
Great.
We're still doing it.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit foreshadowing for perhaps a fake story, but
it was also foreshadowing. I don't know if you picked up when they were leaving the lunch about Sheree being like, well, you girls should come to like Portugal or wherever we're going. Like, we should go on a vacation together. I wonder if they're setting up like a Atlanta Legacy Housewives.
I did not pick up on that, but that
girls trip. But I would be totally for that one as well.
I want to see Kim. I really want to see Kim like shovel
shit,
cow shit, like Heather had to. That would be entertaining.
I agree with you. I mean, who knows? Maybe at this point she'll do anything to get a camera back. I don't know.
I think she will.
We're introduced to Kenya's friend Roy. Seems nice, bringing her food to her Kenya Moore hair care commercial. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see if anything comes of this. I feel like she hasn't posted about him on social media, so I don't think that this is anything that's serious, but we'll see. Sonya's having, had her big mom event, having some issues with her sister.
Like a very real moment to me. I feel like, I didn't actually realize it was her sister at first, and then
me too. I was like, this is really uncomfortable.
I thought it was just her hairdresser, not just her hairdresser, but I thought it was her hairdresser. Right. And I was like, this is uncomfortable. And then I realized it was her sister, and I was like, oh, those are some real emotions coming out. That's, and she seemed to hear her sister, and we'll see if it gets better, but awkward.
What did you think of Kenya's outfit to this event?
Read the room. Like, what are you wearing to this charity event? But she looked fabulous.
She did. She's gone with the wind fabulous.
She can't look bad.
She can't. No, seriously, she really can't. And then this mid-season teaser, we found out that Sonia is pregnant. That's so exciting. I mean, it's been a big storyline of whether or not they wanted to expand their family because, they have so much going on in their lives and things like that, but very excited for them. And then what goes down between Drew and Ralph, I don't know. This is going to get crazy.
The whole mid-season trailer, I guess it was, looks amazing. I'm excited for the rest of the season. And then like not safe for work footage of this. I can't.
Bring it on. Bring it. All right. Well, let's get into our social spotlight of the week. Who caught your attention on social media?
It was, I already mentioned it earlier, but just Andy and Jenna Lyons at the Today Show. He posted some behind the scenes footage of them. And I was just like, wow, he is pushing this show. But I'm interested. And, you know, they're kind of treating Jenna like a celebrity, I feel like, of the cast, which is interesting. Like, I feel like as a New Yorker, I know who she is, but I'm interested in the comments. Like, did you know who Jenna Lyons was before she was cast on the show? Because I feel like other people maybe didn't, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like probably a lot of people are like, who? But,
Yeah.
you know, she's definitely a recognizable face, especially in the fashion industry. So I think everybody's going to really like her on the show too.
Yeah.
She's great. Okay. And then mine went to Kyle Richards because she posted a carousel of photos saying June of the 2023, lots of photos from the wedding that they recently attended and some photos with Mauricio, some videos with Mauricio in the car. But one commenter wrote, we love damage control Kyle. Well, she didn't seem to like that and responded saying, if y'all like to read into every little crumb, read into this, with the middle finger emoji. So Kyle's firing back.
Yeah. Very interesting. I mean, it is interesting. They do kind of seem like they're fine.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe it is. Maybe it's just this rough patch. Maybe they're trying to work through it and, you know, hopefully they do. But either way, just hope that they're happy.
Yeah.
And give us a good season of Beverly Hills.
Please.
All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Getting Real with the Housewives. Let us know. I think we asked a lot of questions this episode. Let us know what you think of Crappy Lake. Let us know if you think that Kim and Kroy was a publicity stunt. Same with Kyle and Mauricio. What else am I missing?
And if you're excited for Roni, the new
Roni, so much.
So much.
So much. So keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.